ago. A similar situation in Sun Prairie ended much differently, leveling several buildings and killing Fire Captain Corey Barr.
Now state lawmakers have a new goal. Do what they can to make sure that never happens again. Rose Schmidt is here now to explain how. Rose?
Yes, well, out of that tragedy last year, a legislator from Sun Prairie is hoping to find some good. His new bill is simple, but it aims to make the construction business safer, not only for those who are working in it, but for the surrounding communities. Building a foundation comes long before you ever get a hammer in hand.
Having everybody survive the day is rule number one. John
Stefani is teaching these students at Madison Area Technical College best safety practices.
Calling Diggers Hotline is right up there. If you're going to put anything in the dirt, you call Diggers Hotline.
Before any outdoor construction or improvement project, the students know they'll have to dial 811, Wisconsin's one-call system. And if they don't, the consequences can be deadly.
Worst case scenario is a gas explosion.
A dozen miles away from this campus, that worst case scenario happened in Sun Prairie on July 10th, 2018, when police say a gas line wasn't completely marked and a subcontractor struck it, causing a deadly explosion.
I started pulling back, and after 40 feet, the workers, they start smelling gas.
Last month, we heard from that subcontractor, VC Tech, for the first time at a public hearing of the state's Public Service Commission. VC Tech was hired by contractor Bear Communications to install a fiber optics line for Verizon Wireless in Sun Prairie. The company that marked the utility lines, USIC Locating Service, filed a complaint with the state against VC Tech, arguing that they failed to call Diggers Hotline when they should have.
The next day when we were doing the ticket surge, over a couple-day period, we had learned that VC Tech did not have a ticket in the area.
Documents show VC Tech was finishing up work on a project started by a different subcontractor who did call Diggers Hotline. So the owner of VC Tech argues that the company who hired him to do the work, Bear Communications, told him he was okay to dig.
I asked Andrew to ask him if everything is properly marked, and he said yes.
Two companies pointing the blame at each other. Now, this is where State Representative Gary Hebel from Sun Prairie enters the picture.
I really believe that this is an accident that should never have happened.
Hebel is proposing a bipartisan bill that would add specific language to the law, aiming to clarify who is responsible for calling Diggers Hotline.
So in other words, if I go to the contractor has had Diggers Hotline mark the lines, and I rely on the contractor or another subcontractor, that is not enough. I need to have direct contact with Diggers Hotline.
The goal is to leave no gray area, but that is exactly why learning the correct safety procedures is imperative.
Not only will you possibly affect yourself, you could also have a serious effect on others and even the whole neighborhood.
So that the future project managers and carpenters follow the law, building a stronger foundation.
We really do tell them how important it is to make it home at the end of the day to their families.
The bipartisan bill is backed by a number of utility companies, including Charter Communications and Alliant Energy. It's still circulating for co-sponsors, and then it will be formally introduced. And Hebel says after this bill, his work is far from over. He plans to continue talking to contractors and utility companies to consider future ways to make the construction business safer.
Rose, thank you. And we have continuing coverage on how Sun Prairie has grown stronger following the downtown explosion. On the one-year anniversary tomorrow, we will have live coverage on all News 3 Now shows, including what's next for downtown, the recovery process for the community and first responders, how Fire Captain Corey Barr is being remembered, and much more.
To weather down.